Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, and welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have the Wind Waker Randomizer Miniblins Tournament Season 2 Live Qualifier number 1. Tracking today, we've got Whooper, Lyric, Erica, and Tomaltalk. And on commentary, we have Clarion and OFC 2000 Alex. I'm going to hand it over to the two of them, but hope you all enjoy the race.
Thanks, Golden Devil. What's up, Claire? You excited as I am for today?
Oh yeah. Little Wind Waker on a Sunday. Big freaking race room. It's like, I don't know what the last count was. I was looking at it was like 30
I don't know. 35
like,
is what we're up to right now, which is crazy for Wind Waker. It's great to see all these new people here.
Yeah, that's super dope.
Yeah.
If you're watching this and you're not sure what Miniblins is our sort of like all levels of runner welcome tournament. It's like, it's definitely more geared towards people that are, going to be a little bit newer, just because the settings tend to be a little bit shorter, they're a little bit more straightforward, and so it's a good stepping stone, hopefully, for people to kind of like get into the rando and getting used to racing and get used to, the whole other aspects of that, and then also being able to be against people that are more, akin to that same like level of experience as you.
Yeah. I agree.
So like it's really is super cool to see, like, some of these names on the list, I'm like, I recognize that one. Some of these are like, I don't know if I've seen them in a race room before. That might be on me, but that might also just because they're new. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty dope. It's a fun rando.
It is
not biased.
We promise. Yeah, no bias here whatsoever.
No bias. No, it's pretty dope. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. And especially because like we tend to allow like most glitches.
Most glitches, yeah.
Just because most glitches boils down to like the same single glitch used in a lot of places.
Yep.
So if you watch this and you see some of the tricks that some of the runners are doing, and you're like, wow, that looks really hard and intimidating. I don't know if I could do that. Keep in mind, really, it's like sort of like one trick used a lot, just with slightly different flavors. So I promise that it's an approachable one to learn.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you're going to be playing runners of your own skill level in this tournament, so, if you're not fully comfortable with storage yet when you start, like most runners probably won't be, that's alright, because your opponents won't be either, and so there'll be a chance for you to grow over the course of the tournament. You don't have to be good at the rando coming in, so it's a chance for newer players to get their footing, as Claire said.
Yeah, and speaking of the players, we're going to have on stream for you, we're going to have Lamphy, Tweety, Quasi, and Bobby. So these are runners with a little bit more experience. They're definitely not new. So also keeping that in mind if you're, looking for sort of a comparison. You're like, oh, I just did a Miniblins seed yesterday and I got X time. If these runners are faster or slower, you can kind of, with a grain of salt if they're finishing seeds a little bit quicker. Well, I'm going to start on Horseshoe.
Yeah, first
which
thing
actually
is read the hints.
I don't think golf's in his settings, is it?
No, it's not. Poor golf just gets left behind.
Poor golf.
It's alright.
I should have been reading the hints a little bit more. I see a sword from Errol, so we're going to have some Forsaken Fortress.
Yep.
See a shard from the boys. Quasi remembering that they are here at Horseshoe. I think Bobby is looking for him too, perhaps? Nope, looking for Diamond Step. Probably gonna go do a little octo hop, a little classic. I consider it like an OG strat just because it was like very, very common in season 3. I mean, it's always kind of been there now. It's been around for a while. This is sort of like a rando exclusive. We have the Swift Sail, or an implementation of Swift Sail from like Wind Waker HD, which allows you to leap from the outside edges of the whirlpool straight to the center and void instead of getting spit out by the octo, which just puts you on the island. It puts you to the default, I think, void out place.
Yep.
Which also, that was like super clean from Bobby.
It was
like barely buffered at all. Like, god dang. Tweety straight in there too, and Amphi's looking for it as well.
I think this makes sense. You're going to go for this Diamond Step to Helmer Rock Pathment. Quasi reading his hints after warping to Windfall. Maybe a little unfortunate for him, but Well,
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize there was that path that's extra good. Okay, Lampy's close. Is he gonna try it? Sometimes if you're close, it'll still suck you down before the Octo fully spawns, but
Yeah.
you gotta be like pretty much just off center for that to happen.
But you can just save warp out if you're not quite in the middle there, as Linampy does, and try again. So
Yeah, I feel like it's always a lot. It can be an easier approach post save warp.
when you get yourself a lineup, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally missed that this. I totally missed that this was a path location. That definitely changes things. Though is one of the tough things. I mean, you know, it just kind of comes with you know, the more seeds that you do. But the random starting island can be tricky to try to like adapt to.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't necessarily have to worry about it. I mean, the classic is as long as Windfall's not dead, like going to Windfall right away is a really good play.
Yeah, very high.
A lot of items
check
you can
density,
get.
tier
Yeah.
0.
You can kind of
Very
just do
safe.
it all. In these settings, there's really no reason to come back.
So we've got a bow and a wallet there in Diamond Step, and Bobby's going to be swimming away to Islet of Steel, I believe, after this.
I assume it's going to go to Islet, yeah. So Bobby's
Yeah.
screen is going to be flashing pretty intensely in a little bit here, so if that's not something that you enjoy looking at, we'll let you know when he's done. He's about to do it right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Idea behind this being, hey, there's a boat in the way, I don't have bombs. There are ways of getting past that boat without the bombs. There's actually like a lot, but this ends up being one of them where you can just swim past it really quickly with a lot of speed. So I know a lot of people like to do this right after doing some Diamond Step.
It's like Bobby's killed his speed, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think might have hit neutral while I was trying to go around the around Diamond Step.
Yep.
Tough. You hate to see that. People call it. There's the super swimming, and then there's super drowning.
Yeah.
Which
Bobby's
is
going to warp away here.
not
You're
preferred.
fine to look back at his part of the screen now.
Yeah, it's the swim is in fact over. And Mother and Child's got something. Shard
Shard
number 2.
Yeah.
Well, shard number 1
See
for
Bobby
Tweety,
swim
but
here.
no swims for Mother and Child.
Yeah. I mean, we have Forsaken Fortress and Logic. I know you're one of the big fans behind just waiting when you go to Forsaken Fortress because you'll have the hammer anyways, so I think I agree with this.
Yeah, they
Now,
may
is
have
it
also
foolish?
they might have had a hint for it too. Yeah.
Yep. That helps too.
I was noticing on people's trackers. I'm like, I don't seem to have it marked, or they have it already marked off. Oh, Lampy's about to swim. Heads up. A little bit of a late warning.
Hints may be helpful.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, actually, speaking of, double check the dungeons. Looks like a Forsaken Fortress and Wind Temple.
Yeah. We had Mother and Child Path to Mulgara with that shard inside it, so something is in Hyrule that we will need to worry about.
Oh.
Keep your eyes peeled for that one later on.
Yeah, so one of the things, so if you've watched Miniblins or just, you know, Wind Waker seeds in the past in general, so we're on I guess it's still technically a development branch of the randomizer. It's not been like, you know, sort of pushed to an official release just yet. But we got two spicy new things in particular for this season. We've got dungeon secrets. So every dungeon that's not Forsaken Fortress has at least 2 additional item checks in them, because there are in the actual game there are 2 joy pendants that are in these dungeons. So basically we've just randomized what those joy pendants can be, which is really cool. So more items in dungeons, more slightly different routing. It's kind of neat. But then the bigger one probably is that bosses for our race mode, instead of just being required because they have a guaranteed shard on them, now they're just required to open the door to Puppet Ganon, so they can have anything on them. Which also means that the shards can be in other places. So we could have a path to Mulgara that is a shard, because yeah, something to beat Mulgara is probably in Master Sword Chamber, which is kind of neat.
Yep. I agree. I think there's a few other minor things that have changed between Season 6 and now. Fire Mountain Cave has been yeeted. We got rid of it. It's now considered a combat cave, and in these settings we don't use combat caves. So That is
I wanted to
gone.
believe that the lore was that we just actually deleted it finally. Like, oh my god.
Remove the worst island from the game.
Yeah, no. So there are a number of checks in the game that actually require more than one setting to be enabled, and now Fire Mountain has been added to that list. So we don't usually play with combat caves on for a lot of settings, and so if those aren't on, Fire Mountain is gone. Not like I was gonna do it anyways, but
You see
yeah,
Lanambi
he's
here
gonna
voiding
do
out.
Cyclos.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat strat you can do. If you have a bow when you go to Mother and Child, you can just void out on that raft with getting storage, and now you can do Cyclos right here, and it's a really fast way to get Cyclos. So,
Yeah, I definitely think it gets better if Mother and Child actually is something.
yeah, I'd agree.
If it's a wooden chest, I'm not always the biggest fan. Oh, we got Quasi on Cliff Flat. Ah, now see, every time I see this is where I'm like, storage and Cliff Flat. It just always feels right. It makes me feel good. I don't know why. It's like where I first learned. Way back in the day, Cliff Flat storage. This is where, and I think this is where a lot of people probably.
It's very helpful
learned.
here in Cliff Plat and probably Dragon Roost Island to get the fly across check are probably the two big ones that are really helpful to learn storage for.
Yeah, because one of the places, even if you have the items, it's just kind of faster regardless.
Yeah.
'Cause instead of like burning the thing and taking the leaf and leafing across the gap, you just do that. You just do what Quasi did. You just walk up the wall, go through a little crack, easy peasy. Then you can get storage for round 2 and take this to Bird's Peak.
Which was hinted a bow, so Crazy will have fire and ice. Or no, he won't. Crazy will have the first bow, because he didn't do Diamond Step.
Oh, that's right. It was Diamond Step. I was like, where was the other one? Note to Mom. Okay. Lanampi, unfortunately, has the big wallet, or bigger wallet, but no money. I'm not quite sure where Bobby got the 200 rupees. There was a silver rupee somewhere. I guess Tweety has it as well.
Pretty sure. I thought it was on Windfall, but I thought
It might have been. Must have been. Maybe Lanampi didn't go. I missed that. Lanampi's
sure.
been cruising.
It won't hurt him immediately anyways, because he still doesn't have the delivery bag to mail it off, so... Not the end of the world. Several spots where Beetle can be outset. Dragon Roost Island here. So plenty of chances to pick up that note to Mom.
Oh, Lanampi actually peeked in the top chest.
Interesting. Again, just like in Season 6, we do have chest type matches contents. So
Oh, yeah, true.
chest
Yeah.
is red and spiky, then it will have a progression item. And if it is wooden and brown, then it will not.
And like I'm trying to think, like if that had been wooden at the top, like would Lanampi have like just gone to Bird's Peak later or something?
Yeah, it's very possible.
I'm wondering.
The 4 shards now, Quasi.
Oh, it might be.
shards. Shard and
Yeah,
four
it's sort of funny. It's almost like feels like what ends up happening a lot of the time now with them not on bosses. Sometimes
They
the
can just
shards
be
just all
super
show
early.
up early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. They're all gonna be Sphere 1 and then there's Sphere 0 and make us do Master Sword Chamber. Okay.
Runners are giving us
literally
quite a good variety.
everybody's in Cliff.
Yeah, they're all doing different ways to get up there.
Crazy was
too.
ahead of the curve. Truly. Truly ahead of the curve.
Yeah, looks like it is a shard that was stored inside the bottom of Cliff Flat.
Okay. Yeah, and the items our runners start with, they start with the sail, the Wind Waker, the telescope, and then in Miniblins it's quiver, bomb bag, bottle, and then every song but command melody, I believe.
We start with Command Melody.
Oh, we start with command melody for this too.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. I couldn't remember if command melody was the one that we didn't.
No. Not sure if we started with it in Season 1 or not. Don't remember.
Oh, and magic too. We start with double magic.
Yeah, double magic. Very nice.
Yeah. But yeah. No progression items as far as like shards and
Swords.
like master swords and stuff.
Yep.
Tweety falling through the island.
Yeah. I find it helpful once you get the ledge grab to just mash A and B as fast as I can. And usually
Same.
that just gets me up to that ledge.
Yeah, because if you do it frame perfect, it has to be a jump slash. And so if you only mash A and you miss the first frame, then pressing A in midair is gonna do nothing. And then if you press B frame perfectly, then you'll hit the wall.
Yep.
Instead of doing a midair slash. So it's like, yeah, just mash both. Just mash both. Don't mash for storage, but mash for that one. It's just easier.
Yeah.
There's a couple. I don't mash for most strats in this game, but there are a couple of ones where I'm like, it's just easier. Like the timing is so loose. Like if I try to time it, I might just screw myself.
Quasi's picked up bombs. Not 100% sure from where. Was that Crescent, probably? It's like he's sailing down to pop right now, so it'd have to be Crescent then.
Must be, yeah.
Bombs are a very nice pickup. They open up a lot of checks in Wind Waker, just because they're just a strong item that unlock a lot of checks. I don't know really much how else to say it. They're a good item. That and Leaf
It's
are
true.
like the number.
Yeah,
two best
bombs.
items.
Yeah, bombs and leaf are definitely, I think, considered the top two items. Well, we have something on Bomb Island as well. Speaking of bombs, even though those are only tangentially related. The bombs also come with an additional mail check, which makes them even better.
Yep. 5 shards for Quasi.
Yeah, there's a number of tricks that are opened up by bombs because they're like a physics item in the game. Ends up mattering. Oh, and we can do Ice Ring. Oh, it's so early for Fire and Ice. Well, I have to see. I'm not sure. I guess there aren't too many Fire Ice. Well, there's less. Now that Fire Mountain is also like not in it, there are fewer Fire and Ice related checks. So maybe it won't hurt Quasi too much to not have it, because it might be a bit like especially because for all we know, Hookshot's gonna end up being, or no, the
We have Hookshot.
Yeah, Hookshot can. I'm trying to think. So actually, what is? Oh, it's just gonna be like Iron Boots in Master Sword Chamber.
Oh, Quasi already has Iron Boots marked. I'm pretty sure those were on Dragon Roost Island Shrine.
Really? Okay.
Shrine, yeah.
Oh,
So
so then it actually, I guess it
Wind
could
Temple at the
actually
moment.
be a leaf. We're really not missing much else for Wind Temple. I'm trying to
No,
think of like
we
what
really
that path on Diamond Step. Okay, Iron
That'd
Boots
be
were
good.
on Wind Shrine, thank you.
There's light arrows for Linnea.
Lights, that's the classic.
Lights 15 minutes in. Oh,
Well, okay,
big payout
that's not the
there, too.
classic. The ice ring lights is the classic. Yeah, gosh dang, that's quick.
Yeah,
That's mad fast.
that'll help speed up combat for the rest of the seed. Light arrows are pretty much
Mhm.
the best way to deal with almost every enemy in this game, because they all die in one hit.
Wait, did we have a prediction for who found light arrow
Yes,
first? Dang.
it was a very
Okay.
lopsided prediction.
Didn't expect that one to pay out so fast. Okay, now Lanamphy is on Windfall. Yes, I guess you just didn't do it earlier.
Fair enough.
Not that it, you know, not that it necessarily matters. It was just that instance of like, wait, why does Lanamphy specifically not have money and everyone else seems to be loaded? Yeah, one of the things with chest type matching contents, you don't pick up a lot of junk items, and rupee checks, or like rupee items are always considered junk no matter what. Even if it's like, well, you know, I'd take at least one if I knew. If it wasn't that out of the way.
Yep. Same with heart containers and other heart pieces and various spoils. They're all in wooden chests, so I mean, you're probably not going to see runners get more than the 6 heart containers they have currently at the moment.
Yeah, except for there's only the checks where like the item is forced on you, like Tingle, for example. But
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, I guess that. All right, so going back to what do they start with in Miniblins? You do also start with an additional 3 hearts, so make combat a little bit less punishing if you're not as familiar with the game.
We get our first peek into Diamond, not Diamond Step, Ghost Ship here. On Tweety's
looks
side.
like Tweety's going forward. I didn't really see that it was spiky, but I'm gonna assume that it is.
Yeah, with that telescope, we can peek the chest, which is really nice.
Yeah,
If all
definitely.
this combat, we want to.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to if you're not used to like the peak strats, but they can save a lot of time.
Yeah.
I know for the longest time, Bomb Island, I would always forget to pull out the telescope, and I'd just do it, and then at the end, I'd be like, "Oh wait,
This is wooden.
this is
Guess I'll
wooden.
cry.
That was a waste of time." Or
Yep.
hopefully it'd be spiky, and they'd be like, "Ah, I always knew."
Save time that way, yeah.
Save time. Yeah, use a game. Best time save.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
we
I
have
was
somebody
saying-
finally getting soup. I don't think we haven't actually seen this yet, right?
No. This
It's
the
interesting.
first
So you
peek for
start
Emma.
with the bottle. So this is actually like you could do it off the rip,
2-0. Yep.
but yeah. So I guess if you're lost at what to do at the start of Miniblins settings, right? If you're just getting started, going to Windfall, never a bad play. If you can't think of anything else, just go to Windfall. It's fine.
Read your hints before you go to Windfall.
Sure,
There's a chance.
read your
There.
hints. Yeah, read your hints first, and then go to Windfall. If Windfall is hinted dead, which can happen, it's a little bit more likely in these settings than perhaps other ones, because there's only 5 things there. I say only, 5 is still a lot. If it ends up being, like, actually barren, then get a fairy and go to Outset. That could be a good backup. There's, like, Underlink's house, there's Mace's house, and then you can save Grandma. And then you'll have soup for the rest of the seed. Never hurts. And then then after you get a little bit more comfortable, you can always start sprinkling in the spice of like, oh, we're on Horseshoe. I know Diamond Step is nearby. I'll go there.
Exactly.
I remember when we first started doing random starting islands, I had like I actually drew out a map of like islands that seemed like they might be close enough to
Good
be
plays,
worth going
yeah.
to. It's like, if we start at Star Island, it could be worth sailing to the sub at Northern Fair. Like I was a nerd. I was like, well, partly
You
it's
said
because it was a day it was at work and I was just bored.
Yeah, understandable.
And I'm like, let me pull out the ruler. Let's look and see the distances here. Well, it makes sense. Let's start having some plans. Because it used to be we always it's been a long time. They used to just spawn on Outset every time. But that just meant that the beginning of the seed was pretty much the same every time. And I'm literally the one here saying, "Hey, just go to Windfall." That's usually what you do. But at least hints are better at mixing things up in the early game.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Hints are pretty cool. Okay, a little bit of the runner crossover. People are doing stuff that others have kind of done. There, looks like Quasi is now heading to a Diamond Step. Hookshot in tow. Has the bombs. Could do some fancy bomb clips potentially. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we're really just waiting for one
Oh
last
wait,
shark.
Quasi's going to Ghost Ship first.
Oh,
Smart.
yeah.
I'm not sure how much time is left in the night.
Better safe than sorry. You miss
Better
Ghost Ship
safe
here,
than
then you'll
sorry.
have to wait to Bomb Island, which is quite a ways away. Tweety here peeking this upper chest with the telescope. Looks like it's spiky. One of the
Yeah,
things...
that's a nifty strat worth learning.
Yeah, I'd agree. Especially
Getting-
since in these rules you can't have resolution above the native resolution, so peeking the chest, you pretty much want telescope. And if you peek it, it saves you quite a bit of time, so...
Yeah, getting that saddle on that boulder can be a little annoying, but it's nifty. It's nice to know if you don't have grapple. It's nice to know if you should plan to come back or not.
Yeah. So if you don't have to come back to the cave, then, you save a lot of time there, even if you don't come in with everything to full clear it.
Yeah. Also, Quasi got an unfortunate Stalfos spawn from the Wizrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, as
Thing
much
you
as you
can
as
do-
much as you can, you want to stun lock that Wizrobe or just kill them outright before they can spawn anything.
Yep.
'Cause
Boomerang
that
is
can
great
just
for
make it
that.
rough.
Shooting with an arrow or a hook shot. If you got Master
Yeah,
Sword or
Ghost Ship
Hammer,
with-
you can even hit them depending on where they are.
Yeah, you really want a ranged weapon as much as possible. I'm trying to see what Tweety. Oh, Tweety's going down to Eastern. Obviously, makes sense. Took me a sec to remember. I was like, wait, which which fairy is this?
An Amphi swimming here looks like two. Maybe
Oh,
Islet.
maybe the
so
Needle Rock.
could be Needle Rock.
So there'll be a little bit of flashing on the Nifty side. It is nighttime though. Nighttime swims are a little easier on the eyes. Generally speaking, but I don't know. We'll see. I would imagine Needle Rock. That's kind of like an old classic. Yeah, that looks like the angle that we're doing.
And
A
again,
lot of
super
swims
swims are
today.
yeah, seeing them a lot, but they're definitely not a strat that is required at all in order
No,
to
not even
perform
a
well
lot.
at the randomizer.
Well, and if you peek in the, was that spiky? That
Was
chest
it?
is not in logic. I think
could
it might
only
have been.
be a wallet, so that's pretty funny if it is.
I
'cause
don't
that's the
know.
only thing
It
can
looked
be.
like it might have been. It might have just been the fire kind of throwing me off. He didn't unfreeze it, so I assume no. Yeah, sometimes when you switch settings, it's hard to remember. Like, oh yeah, island puzzles not on. Turns out. Definitely made that mistake before.
Sometimes it can be
I didn't
nice
see
to
if
find
Quasi
out of
did
logic
the
stuff.
bomb clip, but I see him
I believe he
jumping
did.
down over here now, so I assume he did.
It's one of the nice things about having bombs and hookshot when you do diamond step, as opposed to rushing it like the other runners did. You can save a little bit of time by clipping up there.
Yeah, there's a number of different strats. Part of the reason why I tend to not diamond step early as much as I used to.
Ideally, you would have leaf when you come here, and that would let you leaf over to this chest from the other one.
Yeah.
But again, no leaf in Psyker.
It's probably a Master Sword Chamber. And Quasi is one shard short of a full Triforce.
Yep.
Which we may have seen on someone else's screen. I'm actually not sure. I think it seems like we might know, in theory, where all 8 are. I'm not sure which one he's missing specifically, though. Oh yeah, Tweety getting rolled by this stupid ledge that you like can't climb up on. It's slightly too tall. Hey.
Yep. Closer to the mailbox, you can climb up from down below.
Yeah, on the
You don't have
rightmost
to go all the
side.
way around there.
Yeah, I hate that.
So yeah, if we've got all 8 shards, and I guess eyes on whichever runner gets there first, probably will be the one to
Is
first
there a
have
shard
leaf.
on wallet mail? Is that where it is? I'm just thinking about this now. No, it was hammer. Never mind. I knew there was something. I was trying to remember what. Okay, wait, so then that's probably... Never mind. So there's probably not... Well, I guess there could be leaf in Master Sword Chamber still, right? But I thought it was a shard on wallet mail, not the hammer on wallet mail. For the Mulgara path.
I think it just
I'll
has to
have
be
that
leaf now.
backwards. Do we have a wait? Do we have a different shard path? I'm lost in the sauce.
I'm pretty sure Mother and Child was a shard, which is Path to Mulgara.
Oh, mother and child. Okay.
So
that's
Path to Mulgara
that's
has
where
to
we.
be.
That's why I'm like, how were we talking about that earlier? Yeah, so I think it has to be leaf at this point, or something leading to leaf, like delivery bag, potentially.
Yeah. Either way, I'm sure our runners will rush straight forward it, straight to it. They get the last shard.
Is my nephew just mailing the Wind Waker?
Oops. You're gonna want that
Oh,
one, Nancy.
Lanampy.
Take it back.
You need that. I think I was watching Drew, and Drew accidentally did that. He's like, Link, you idiot. No, you gotta save the world. Don't mail that. You need that. And it made me laugh a lot.
Credits roll.
Credits roll. I think
Bad.
you're supposed to wake the winds.
Oh, it's a shard at Southern Ferry. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And that would put us at 8.
Well, I guess we'll see. Yeah, Southern Ferry is, well... I guess now that Quasi's got the fire and ice, you can mix in Southern with Ice Ring.
Yeah.
So we might end up seeing that.
I imagine
Because when it's on its own, it's like not so bad to do a one-off for Southern, but I don't know. It can be weird routing it in sometimes if there's not as much nearby.
Yeah. And Euler's foolish, so, I mean, it's really only Southern and Ice Ring, or Southern and Cyclos. So.
Ooh. We're gonna see Forsaken Fortress. Okay. Okay. First dungeon.
Yeah. I mean, you've got everything you maybe want Leaf, but even without it, you can still clear this pretty quickly.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad even without it. It's interesting, like, I find sometimes in Miniblins settings, like, the dungeons end up coming, like, really quickly. And I suppose 28 minutes in is, like, not so bad, but if it was, like, DRC, it'd almost, like, you know, well, they'd still have grapple, but sometimes you'll see that dungeon super early in Miniblins.
Yeah, especially since the key has been moved so it can no longer be in the basement, so you have a lot of DRC open Sphere 0.
True, that's right, yeah, so that would be another, I guess, like, the other big change, basically, for this season as opposed to previous, is the slight logic difference in DRC. Wait, we got Phantom Ganon twice, holy cow.
Yeah.
As much as I was just saying, like, oh yeah, it's, you know...
About to have a 3 times.
Everybody's going to...
The gang's all here.
Everybody's going to Forsaken Fortress.
And there's nothing stopping a shard from being here, so...
It's true. That's very true.
Nancy about to get his last one on Eastern, though. Which will help him out with clearing the rest of the world.
It'd be interesting if we saw spicy, I mean, honestly, Lanampy is... After this shard, Lanampy is, you know, basically 2 items from go.
It's pretty crazy, yeah. Could be a very fast Miniblin seed, depending on how nice our Wind Temple is.
Now, I don't know if Lanampy wants to do Leafless Wind Temple, but also, like I said, it seems like we have a decent inkling of where that's going to even be, so...
Yeah, I don't think it'd be
definitely not in that
point.
case, because Leafless Wind Temple is not fun.
No. Not beginner-friendly, not experienced runner-friendly.
Yeah. Just not friendly at all.
Yeah. See Quasi here, peeking that lower chest from up top here. Opting not to jump down. And there's Lanampy's last shard.
We have a decent variety. Well, I guess I say decent variety of models today, but 2 of them are Link.
Yeah.
So maybe not that, but you know, hey, we got Pajama Link and we've got Heroes Clothes Link, which is cool. But yeah, I do like. We have a pretty decent selection of custom models that people have made throughout the years. One of the things I like about the rando, makes it fun to play.
I agree. I personally
Then
love
especially like a lot of times runners will use the same model consistently, and so you kind of get used to it.
Yep. Tweety's the okay. Tweety and Quasi both doing the little storage spot that you found. Take the storage straight to Helm Rock King.
That's gonna be a bit easy. I find it can be a bit easier than the bomb push on the chest. Well, they both got it like synchronized with each other. Yeah, and this can just speed up the climb towards Helm Rock. This is another decent storage strat to learn.
Yeah, Bobby taking the long route. We're gonna see that it's gonna save Tweety and Quasi quite a bit of time here. Tweety can
Tweety accidentally dropping down
here.
a little bit.
Not void out. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Oh, it puts you like way out there, yeah, because it gives you void in the overworld.
Yeah, you hit your head on the wall.
Yeah, that's one downside to storage is that you can bonk your head in places in void that you would not normally be able to. For whatever reason, the void out spot is just, yeah, like Link said. Hey, look at that.
There it is. There's that leaf. So
How did we know?
power of hints.
Okay. Oh, Tweety's gonna go for the. I assume
You
the
have to go
chest
the
on
long
the
way,
bed.
yeah. Or chest on bed.
I'm worried. I think Tweety's gonna get shot. We'll see.
By the
So,
yeah.
yeah. Well, maybe this is the realization. Yeah. Yeah. So, interestingly, this is I don't know. It's this is the more not random like knowledge, but this is just one of the things to keep in mind. There are cannons that spawn when you fight Phantom Ganon. They are not there until you fight Phantom Ganon, because normally you're supposed to fight him first and then get the hammer and then proceed with the dungeon. So they don't spawn until after. And so then, like, normally you're supposed to then go clear out the towers and get the bokoblins so they don't shoot you, because there's a big sidle section that you have to do. If you have Leaf or if you have Grapple, you can skip that, but if you don't have it, they will mess you up. Yeah, this
Yep.
looks like Tweety's just gonna leave, not wanting to deal with that.
Makes sense.
Really good recognition, though. It's super easy to forget about that.
Yeah. Sunk cost fallacy, I think, is a lot of thing. There's a thing that a lot of runners tend to fall victim to. You know, I've one more try on the strat, and then I'll go the other way. Or you spend 10 minutes doing something that would be slightly slower, sure, but would have taken you 2 minutes to do the safer way. So.
Yeah, so I assume Tweety opened up the inter-dungeon warp pot and might just come back later with Leaf.
Yeah. Makes sense. See 2 runners here in Helm Rock King. And Anthony's probably going to be joining them in a minute or two. Another great use of storage is this fight right here. Helm Rock King is a very RNG dependent boss without the storage strat, but with the storage strat, you can get it pretty consistently as long as we stay on top of this jail cell here.
Yeah,
Helm Rock
the
King is
Helmrock will
nice.
come back around and re-land. Yeah, standing on top of the jail just foregoes needing to wait for Helmrock packs, because you're just up high enough to hit Helmrock's head while he's standing, which you normally can't. And it's honestly kind of surprising to me that it works.
It's very
Like,
convenient.
I guess it kind of makes sense, but it's interesting that there's not some property of the peck that like would change Helmrock's hurt box. It's just always active in the head. It's just far away from you. I don't know. Like, it makes sense to do it that way, but it's like it wouldn't have surprised me if it wasn't that way. I don't know. Yeah, so literally just being higher up in the fight than you're normally supposed to be kind of totally breaks that fight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be the final shard for Kwezi,
Yep.
who will likely go to Ice Ring, but then probably proceed to Master Sword Chamber.
Yeah, and I think we're just looking for one sword at this point now, too, because Arrowmail has another sword.
Oh, that's
So-
right. I forgot about that.
We're
Yeah.
looking at, what,
So
Wind
wait.
Temple and Cabana as our other locations for swords, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then note to mom mail. That's just
to mom
requires finding delivery bag. Which at this point, I would probably wait to see if I find delivery bag for Cabana too, to be honest. I'm
Yeah.
sure Lanfy probably does Helmrock, and then decent chance you just go straight to Wind Temple.
I'd agree. The risk of breaking into Cabana, given the fact that the Cabana deed or the delivery bag can just be in a hinted Baron location, is that you're just doing a check that other runners just won't do because they never find the item to get in there. So it can be pretty risky to do. Have the hints work like that.
And then Effie going straight into the boss.
Yep. Could be
Yeah,
an
actually,
outset
and speaking
berry.
of Errol's sword, Quasi just picked it up.
Yep.
Oh yeah, outside Great Fairy, right?
Yeah. Kind of forget about
That's
that
true.
location, to be honest. I like to forget
Oh.
about it because it's
I like to forget about it too.
pretty annoying to go to.
I might that might be my new Fire Mountain if I run these settings. I just always used to just never do Fire Mountain, but the only problem is I feel like outside Great Fairy is gonna have stuff more often than Fire Mountain did.
But lock
It's not
relief
a
from bombs
perfect
in these settings,
1-to-1.
relief from, power bracelets.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Quasi ended up going towards Shark, I assume, to pick up a Cyclos.
Okay. I don't remember if there was anything inside Ice Ring or not.
Lights.
Oh, right, lights. You will definitely want
I
that.
actually remembered that one. I usually don't. I'm usually the one asking. There goes all the shards for Bobby now. We might get more than... we might get some people holding hands in Master Sword Chamber.
Yeah, we've kind of seen Tweety, Quasi, and Bobby doing around the same checks for consistently past 30 minutes or so. So, very possible. And again, yeah, Quasi going into Diamond or Master Chamber without those lights will make combat a little bit slower. So, be nice for Tweety and Bobby with the routing they have chosen.
Oh yeah, true. That's a good point. Although Quasi does have Ice and Hammer, so
Yeah,
that's never a bad way of taking out the Dark Nuts. I like seeing the purple ruby from Helmrock. Dang, not even picking it up, poor Helmrock. There's not even an item pickup cutscene. I mean, I wouldn't have picked it up either, to be
Not
fair.
worth my time.
Not worth my time. What is that? 3 feet out of the way?
No thank you.
lost.
$50, and I don't
mean,
know.
to be fair, yeah. We've already got 190 in the bank for Lanampy. Really don't need 50 rupes.
Especially in these settings where the most you're going to spend is 20 rupees on Beetle and then whatever else you need to mail off note to mom, which could be 5 to 20.
Yeah, really not that much. It's pretty light on the rupee requirements for this seed. Or for these settings. Yep, Lanampy straight off to Wind Temple.
Yep.
Pretty much what we figured. I think Bobby's probably also gonna go. Yeah, we might have 3 people in Master Sword Chamber at the same time, depending. He's gonna have having a little bit more trouble with this fight than the other 2 are going to. Light arrows are really strong. They're like a little bit broken in this game, but I much prefer that to whatever the heck freaking Ocarina of Time has. Where like they don't work, or they do work, or they work on something, so they like give you more rupees for some reason. Like I don't even think I know. All I know is you shoot Ganon with them.
That's all they're good for, pretty
They're
much.
really, yeah. They're just a second Ganon's tower key. He's got that double lock protection. He's got the
Two-factor authentication.
2-factor, yeah.
Yep.
That's the word I was like trying to find. He's got the 2-factor authentication on his room. Big.
I guess we also have 2-factor authentication in this game. Gotta defeat 2 bosses,
That's true.
but not the same type, I guess.
Not quite the same. Although Ganon in Ocarina should probably learn better security protocol, because he just kind of tells you where you find one of them.
You want my password to my computer and bank account? Here you go.
You'll never log into my computer with the password
1, 2, 3,
Ganon
4, 5.
forever.
Yeah.
Evil forever. You'll never get into it with these light arrows from the dongo. Oh, the big key. I mean, we know you don't hate to find that, but
No,
yeah, so you need a small key, guaranteed. The big key is just kind of bonus if you find it.
Yep.
So we're not in go mode yet though, so I suppose it doesn't really matter.
No.
Just gonna do a little bit of a little spring jump storage. So you call the spring off the screen by being in first person with the hook shot, and then you pull yourself off of it before the game can properly spring you upwards. And for whatever reason, that actually like stores that essentially until you reload the spring. It's like the game knows that it should have sprung you upwards, but it like can't do it with the unloaded spring, so it just doesn't happen until. Oh yeah, and Lampy is gonna set up for the pick up one of the dungeon secrets, because Forsaken Fortress doesn't have any. So it's like we were talking about it earlier, like, oh man, dungeon secrets are new, it's cool.
Can't wait.
Can't wait, and only one of the dungeon has it. But so it goes. Yeah, we got everybody going to Wind Temple except for Bobby, who is gonna check Outset Great Fairy first. So if this happens to be exactly the sword, or something leading directly to sword, that'd be pretty nice.
Yep. Go mode Wind Temple is not necessarily the fastest of the go mode dungeons. You still need that small key, so depending on how mean that can be, it'd still be a lot of Wind Temple you're having to clear, but it does help. Knowing that every other runner will at least have to full clear, and you can skip at least 2 checks.
Yeah. Also, that orange rupee that Lampy just picked up, that was one of the randomized dungeon secret locations. So in the vanilla game, pulling that stone head off the wall will always drop a one-time joy pendant. But now it can drop a random anything. And as much crap as we were giving, or at least I'm going to say we, as I was giving NFE fake crap for not picking up the purple rupee, he did pick up the orange rupee from that for some reason. Probably just because he got most of the way or all the way to it before fully processing what it was.
Grappling hook there on Bobby's side from that fairy, so...
Oh, interesting.
I think we saw a spiky chest in Paw Print.
We did in Paw Print, yeah.
And could in theory also go to Cabana.
God, if it was like delivery bag, and then, yeah, Cabana is like empty and Nota Mama's dead, then Bobby is just being taken for a ride. But...
Yep.
If either one of those places ends up actually having it, then suddenly we're sitting pretty.
Yeah, I think this is
If
definitely
it's in
more of a
Cabana,
gamble,
you need the
but-
grapple, and if it's up here, obviously.
Yeah.
Also,
Times
screw the
gambles
Armos
pay
in the
off.
room that Quasi's in. I hate those Armos. They
Yeah, a lot
always
of
seem
runners
to
are
be
having to
trying
get
hook shit
used
up
to having to deal with them now that this is a check.
Yeah,
Normally you just
normally,
run
they
straight
were
past
never. Yeah, yeah, they were never a factor before.
Oh, is this spiky chest here? I think it is.
Oh, uh-oh.
I guess we got tingle statues to worry about too.
That's true.
Oh, there it
Nope.
is.
It's just sword. No, Bobby.
So now Lanafi just needs a small key.
Yep,
She's
we
gonna
are in
check
key
here.
mode. Well, Bobby did in fact get taken for a ride. I guess assuming the runners are gonna skip the grapple for
Lanafi,
the
you need a
end
key.
here. Oh, uh-oh.
Lanafi knows where the last sword is, though, doesn't he? Pretty sure he knows it's on Arrow Mail,
Yeah, I'm sure he
which is
does.
why he's trying to store this chest, but he's gonna need the key. He's gonna figure that out pretty fast.
Yes. This will go into what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. Wind Temple, one of 2 dungeons where a small key is 100% required. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yep.
So, and if you'll get down to the basement and then be stuck. Well, actually, no, you can make it out, but. Oh, there it is.
Notice is the key door. Yeah.
Yeah, so you actually can roll on this to get back up. Just like that.
There he goes.
I don't know if that's like dev intended or not, but it does work. Also, this bat is being super annoying. Tweety's, I think, just trying to get back to Forsaken Fortress to finish things up there. Oh, so we're gonna have the
Yeah, statue number 5 for Bobby. So unfortunately, Bobby is on a wild goose chase here.
oh god,
Get the delivery bag, and so he can go to Cabana and he can go to Tingle Island.
oh
A lot of
man,
stuff.
unlucky.
Yep. And Amphi also finding
Outside
a
fairy.
So
How could you? Oh, was it just up at the top? I missed where it was.
yeah, I believe so. Now we can just clip back out of bounds without storage. You don't need storage to do this clip.
Tweety was having some fun with the Forsaken Fortress ladders there for a second. And by fun, I mean those ladders are super jank.
Yep.
Also, that hook shot clip right there that Lanamphy just did, definitely worth learning.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to get down into the basement without having to open up the grate will just save you a ton of time in Wind Temple. And it's really not too bad to learn.
Yeah, the vanilla way in Wind Temple is pretty slow. You have to go through a couple extra rooms that we don't even touch in this.
Yeah, because they have nothing in them.
Yeah.
Besides just enemies. No chests, no items, nothing. So if you can avoid it, it's just like a free, probably a couple minute time save.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn the Wind Temple basement clip. You don't even necessarily have to. You can. There's ways of getting the car down to the basement if you don't want to do this bottom section without him. And then also, the floor 1 skip in Tower of the Gods can be really useful to learn too. The clip out with the Armos is really not too bad.
Yep.
But
So yeah, Lanamphy does have the big key, so he could just skip this room entirely. So I'm not 100% sure what he's doing here, but
it's a good
I'll let him
point.
cook.
That is a very good point.
Maybe he just wants to show it off for all the other runners. You can watch him learn.
He's just
Watch the
I think
vlog
he
back.
got bamboozled by that first chest being the big key. I think he probably in his brain was like, "Oh yes, that was the small key," and then that's why he went to the door and then realized he didn't have a small key. And it's like, I don't know why I didn't have a small key. Could have sworn I did. So you will get to see. This is the extra credit stuff.
Quasi. Oof. Is he dying?
Oh
to
shoot!
the,
Oh, because
dark
Quasi
nest
still
there?
doesn't have the light arrows.
Nope.
Still didn't go to Ice
So
Ring.
he's not gonna
Dang.
get go mode in Wind Temple here.
Ah, shoot. That's true. Dang. The tragic 50-50 Cyclos at Ice Ring. And unfortunately picked Cyclos and just happened to be wrong this time.
Yep.
That's rando. Also, Amphi making it clean through that room.
Although Quasi should know that chest was. I don't think that chest can possibly be anything unless it's a second wallet. So it shouldn't get baited into going back at the very least. I would hope.
Guess we'll see.
Very clean boss key skip there from Lanamphy, though. Pretty much exactly what you want to do. A lot of times in Wind Temple, if you've got all the stuff you need, you find a small key early on, it can just be faster to just go straight to the.
You went from Olgara's
Awesome.
storage. I respect it. You have to actually be really careful with storing the boss death cutscenes now with the new required boss mode.
Yeah.
If you save warp out before the end of that cutscene, it doesn't set the flag. Like whatever Lago's using to keep track of the bosses you defeat. So it can be a little rough. Ooh. Almost recap. It's pretty close. And I'll see Tweety go back to
Does get the air grab there. Go for the other one? Ah, not
That one's so tough.
yeah. The first one,
Way
you can
easier to
definitely
clash off
practice.
Mulgara's body, or like the sand in the ground even. It's weird.
but every time you do get it, it saves you Mulgara flying into the ground, surfacing back up. So it's worth going for.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't hurt you to go for it. So
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, you might as well. You might as well try shooting. That was a good backup there from Tweety. It's nice to be able to use those inter-dungeon warp pots. That was always something I was like when I was first learning. I remember being very intimidated by them because I'm like, man, I really feel like I could be utilizing these better, but I don't understand them.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of use in these settings in Miniblins.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, to be fair, you often want to just try to clear the dungeon in one go as much as possible. So
Good mindset to have for Miniblins.
yeah. But yeah, the end game dungeons of FF, ET, and Wind Temple are all linked together, and then the earlier ones of DRC, Forbidden Woods, and Tower of the Gods are all linked together. Which is not immediately obvious. Sword for Bobby. So that'll be go mode. Oh wait, no, we need
Have a
small
key
key.
there,
Small
yeah.
key go mode. That's true.
There's one at the top of the hub room. I don't know about this check here.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think normally people go to the top of the hub room, but I assume people are seeing the spiky check first, and then going like, "Oh, if that's my go mode."
Go for it now, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've even seen the other dungeon secret. Behind Stonehead.
No, I don't think so. We'll probably see it from Quasi though.
Right next to the warp pot. It's a really fast small key, honestly. So, if it's there.
Oh, is that where it was? Okay, so
I don't know
Quasi
if it is or
found
not, but it's really
Oh.
fast if it is.
That's true. Thankfully, top of hub room is not too bad either.
Yeah.
Alright, Unenvy off to high roll.
Safely in the lead at the moment. But Bobby probably going to be close behind, as well as Tweety. Both of them, I think, are going to be in go mode here shortly.
Yeah, if you just should be finishing up just a little bit over an hour, which pretty quick for these settings.
Yeah, we got a lot of...
Obviously, Bananfi a very experienced runner, so
Yeah. Yeah, these runners, you know, it's something to aim for. It's not where you're expected to start out at, for sure.
yeah, Bananfi's been around longer than me, and now I'm like, for the longest time I felt like I was like, you know, still one of the new peeps, but that's definitely not true anymore.
Yep.
I'm not one of those peeps that is like used to speedrun the game, but I think at this point, now that I've crossed the, I don't know what would it be? It would be, I guess I am probably right about 4 years now. Oh god. Oh jeez.
You're old. Congratulations
Send me back.
to the retirement home.
Yeah, wild to think about. Beginning of COVID stuff, oh boy.
Yep.
Okay, we'll get to see the other version. Yeah, so one of the reasons you don't necessarily need to bring the car down to the basement is there's actually just a gap between the stone and the wall. It's just not pushed up all the way, and you can just sidle past it.
Yep.
In speedrun categories, that is considered glitchless. Because I guess you're technically not out of bounds. There's just a smaller gap than you might think you should be able to fit in. But you're not out of bounds. So it's all good. And they did not fix that for HD, so you can do that in HD too. The devs were too focused on adding a lot of bloom and particle effects.
Fixing storage.
Or maybe the devs, the QA testers didn't want to have to bother bringing a car down there either.
Don't blame them, to be honest.
Don't blame them. I'm still mad in that penultimate room. When you plant the tree, it turns the wind off. Makes no sense. You should plant the tree with Makar, and then it's like, even though the wind is strong, and like you shouldn't be able to leap across, even though that's what we do. But, you know, that's not like a casual player thing. It's like, but the hook shot can pull you through the torrential wind. Like, isn't that so cool? And then they're like, no, we just turned the wind off. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
I remember being very disappointed about that in my casual playthrough. And I'm disappointed about it to this day. Missed opportunity.
Bobby?
But...
I think Bobby here's my Qualifier,
Bobby going for it. Oh, got it.
Yeah, got it.
Got one.
Tricky trick.
Yeah.
Very precise timing.
Basically, you use the bomb to get a final hit, but there's like a little bit of a stun timer after the tongue gets grabbed by the hook shot. So it gives you enough time to get the hit and then re-grab the tongue on the same frame that it becomes like, I guess, available to be re-grabbed.
It's a very rarely seen strat.
It's really tricky.
But it's pretty cool.
Tough to get. Can save time if you can do it quickly. Looks super cool. Most runners don't go for it.
Yeah, definitely not a thing you should focus on learning as a new runner.
Unless you think it's cool, in which case go for it.
Fair.
I'm not gonna tell you what not to do. I will only ever give suggestions for things that I would consider worth.
Not me. I'll do stupid strats.
You know? If it's what keeps you interested, if it's what keeps you wanting to do more.
Yeah, it does.
I think that's dope.
This game's a great sandbox to play around in.
Yeah, I agree.
The tricks, you know.
Especially with storage is like always a good time.
Yeah.
Just doing like your best mountain goat impression.
Yep.
Just going up any slightly inclined surface like it's nothing. It's great. Nice. Double shot there on the spider phase.
Up again's a thing where a lot of new runners can lose time. I think it's definitely something worth practicing. Just grinding out, maybe for an hour or two. Just grinding out Pup again in phases. Because this boss is...
An hour or two straight? That's a lot.
Maybe not an hour or two straight, but prioritize learning.
Never hurts to get some more practice, though, on Pup again. And you do have to do him at the end of every seed. So... Yep. While the items may be random, this will always be here.
Unless...
Nice shot there.
But yeah.
Alright, we got Bobby heading to high roll, Tweety just a tiny bit ahead. And then hopefully Quasi finds those light arrows sooner rather than later.
Yep.
There is that potential chance that Quasi gets set on the
outset,
on that wild goose chase that Bobby got sent on. At the outset ferry and Poffert and everything. We'll see. Hopefully not.
Yep.
Nice mid-air snipe there from Quasi. It was J-Wish gave me this visual cue that works pretty well, where once Mulgera's mouth, like the two sides, basically go off the edge of the screen. I guess if you're in first person specifically, then that's like a good time to let it rip. It doesn't work if you do the third person strat that Quasi does, but...
Oh, wow. Got our first two finishers. 2 seconds apart.
Oh my crap.
Sheesh.
That's a tie.
Yeah.
Technically. GG's to both of them. Well, if he's right behind him too.
Yeah, got
Oh.
sniped by Laz. 20 seconds off the lead.
Gonna re-soup. The double damage from soup does work on Ganondorf.
Yep. It's really great to have, honestly, just for most combat in this game. If you don't have light arrows, soup and a sword are probably your next best friend.
Yeah, part of the reason why starting on outset can be decent. Just like, yeah, you start with the bottle, just get that soup. Why
Yep.
not?
GG's for
There we go.
Manamphy here.
GG's for Lanamphy. And yeah, the idea for Miniblins settings, I mean, and again, the times that have been coming in are from people who've been playing this rando for quite a while. But the hope is that they're a little bit shorter, so especially when you're just starting out, you know, your seeds shouldn't hopefully, you know, maybe the first couple will take a bit, but then like as you get a little bit more, you know, practice under your belt, you won't have to spend several hours on one
Yeah.
seed. It's not as big of a, you know, time commitment. So that's like the big thing. I mean, I remember because I started back in, well, I didn't start in season 3. It was already, I think, over by the time I started playing. But I started with season 3 settings, and it would be like those early seeds is like a 4-hour plus time commitment.
It can be a lot, especially for newer
It can be a
runners.
lot.
So.
Yeah, it's just a big chunk of time to have to find.
Yep.
Thankfully, I didn't have a lot going on at that time, so it didn't
Yeah.
matter.
A lot of people didn't.
A lot of people didn't. But that's neither here nor there.
Quasi is on ice ring now, so not going to get baited by the lure bag, thankfully. Meanwhile, the other 2 runners are on Pup again in 1.
Ooh. Close shot there for Bobby. Yeah, these phase 1 snipes can be tough. Really nice though. And that's actually Bobby edging out a little bit of a lead now on Tweety.
Yeah. Up again and make or break a
It
high
really
skill
can.
match.
Yeah, it really can. GG's Lamphy.
GG's Lanamphy.
We are joined by the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Am I a legend?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Got 4th place. That's legendary.
It's yeah, I guess.
You're also one of the old heads, like me.
Yeah.
I was talking about that earlier. I'm like, I think I've officially graduated to that point. Well, probably already been for a while. I just
Got your undergraduate's degree.
I don't want to think about it. Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember exactly when I first like started playing with a friend of mine. But probably about 4 years ago. On my own, at least. Not in the community, but yeah.
I still feel like a new guy. Like if I compare myself to Tuba, for example, I'm still a zoomer. But,
I know, I want to cling to that as much as I can.
hmm.
Hey, how'd you feel like the seed went for you?
For me, it went pretty well. I think I did the right things. I guess took the wrong path or the right path and got an early Goma. So that's
Just
pretty
find
nice.
the items? Just find the,
Yeah, just
the ultimate
find the
strategy?
items
Just
and-
go to where the items are and pick them up? Easy.
Yeah,
No, I feel you.
I
They're pretty fun settings, I think. I mean, the addition of the dungeon secrets is dope.
yeah, I think the dungeon secrets are really fun. I think Tingle
Mm,
Chest should also be on, but nobody will probably agree with me there. So
maybe not
but,
for Miniblins. I don't know. Just because it can make some of the dungeon stuff a little awkward because playing around bombs.
that's what I like about
But
them.
that's fair.
And then the 2 warp pods of the 2 dungeons must always be intertwined or something. There should be an extra setting. Like
Oh, that could be interesting, actually. That's not a bad suggestion.
mhm.
I wonder if that, I don't know, depending on how they're set up, though, that might be easier said than done.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, because actually Tweety was able to take advantage of that. She actually
really?
avoided on the climb with storage in FF and ended up just returning back later with Leaf.
right. Yeah, okay.
Oh, Bobby, I think, unfortunately fallen from grapple skip. I'm sure Alex sympathizes.
Yes, deeply hate this trick. Doesn't even save much time, but
You do,
Oh.
because
But
and
he's
Bobby
still-
actually does have
Cool.
grapple. Bobby did
Yeah.
find it.
yep,
Where was it?
Outside Grey Fairy?
yep,
Yeah.
that was there. Bobby ended up clearing a lot of grapple lock checks. I don't think Bobby went to Cabana, but Bobby
No,
definitely went to.
Didn't end up going to Cabana.
What was on that spiky
Scale the wall.
Skill the wall.
I believe it was delivery bag.
I think so, yeah.
So
The thing was, when I saw that final spiky chest with the sword in it in Wind Temple, I thought to myself, like, what are the odds that is the sword? Because we still have delivery bag, we have 2 Tingle statues. This is probably bait, right? And it actually was a sword, so I was pretty surprised there.
Like, oh, okay. Well, my thing it's always hard to know because the delivery bag is one of the items that can just be in a barren location if, like, the mail check and Cabana are empty.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like maybe we just won't find it.
Yeah.
GG's for Bobby here.
GG's for Bobby. Tweety literally right behind it.
Yeah.
Two phases back.
Just a grapple skip behind.
Just yeah, Bobby had a really clean puppet cannon fight overall, I'd say. Yeah, Quasi missed out on a 50-50 kind of. Ended up going to fight Cyclos after Southern instead of going to Ice Ring, and did not get those light arrows for quite a while.
Yep.
Right.
So had some combat troubles because of that. Happens though. It was cool.
It's
Big
kinda
race.
Oh, did you? I was kind of unsure about my early game route where I went to
Not
Diamond
Windfall.
yeah. And I figured there was something important on Windfall, and then I went to Diamond Step and I was like, what if I find a hookshot or something? But the path hint with Hyperol Thief was pretty funny.
Yeah, can happen now. Everybody better be afraid, prepared for the maze that contains the leaf. It's gonna happen at some point.
Well, it's funny because I think I remember people talking about, like, last Miniblins tournament. I think people said, like, Master Sword Chamber seemed to have something in it a lot. Basically, just a sword or a bow in it a lot, just because the number of checks in general was, like, a lot lower. But now with the shards, it's like probably even more likely, and it's more likely for it to be, you know, an item that's. I mean, not that swords and bows aren't useful, you know, but they're just more required than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'll probably see more, like, leaves and stuff in there.
So this issue, quote unquote, with, like, shards getting placed at the same time as, like at the same time during the generation of the seed, like, that would be. I heard that would be fixed in, like, the next build. Were there any plans on, like, switching builds after the qualifier or something? If that's fixed.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Probably not, but we can see. Come on, everybody likes a little bit of Master Sword Chamber action anyways, right, Shirley? Something like that. Yeah, also, yeah, GG's, Tweety.
GG, sweetie.
Hi, thanks.
Pretty solid run. Unfortunate on the FF, but like the backup.
I was kind of looking at my tracker at the time, and I noticed I wasn't where I thought I was, and I was like, okay, we're gonna figure this out.
Oh, like while you were walking up the wall, you mean?
While I was running up, I wasn't really watching.
Oh, yeah.
And I noticed I was on the door, and I was like, wait a second.
Man,
How
right.
did I get here? I was worried though that you were gonna end up getting shot off the sidle, but
Be with the chest on bed
Where?
strats.
yeah, if you went for the, I assume you were gonna store chest on bed potentially.
I was,
Or-
but I couldn't remember if I needed either grapple or leaf to get up to the top, so I just used the pot instead.
Gotcha.
If you
Okay.
defeated Phantom Ganon, then yeah, you will, because otherwise you end up getting shot by the cannons a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
If you haven't, then you should be safe.
Yeah. I was worried about that, and then you avoided. I was like, nice. It's good. Yeah, I got a shot from Quasi. And did you do the Miniblins last time, Tweety? I don't remember.
Yes, that was when I first started playing. It
Okay,
was-
that's what I thought. I was not really around for that at that time, so I kind of missed out on some of that. Yeah, I mean these are like basically the same. I think kind of settings plus dungeon secrets.
So everyone will
I think
qualify
that's-
for A bracket, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think anybody that wants to participate in the bracket stage will be able to. You know, it'll just be separated into groups of appropriate experience levels,
Yeah.
similar skill range kind of thing.
This last time I overqualified, which was the plan, but
Yeah, and I think, and I'm sure some runners are probably gonna do the qualifiers and then decide like I'm good. Like
yeah.
some of the more the runners that have been around for a little bit longer, but we'll see. I mean, maybe not. It'll be
I'm
fun.
gonna try to participate, though I'm pretty busy with stuff. So
That's
I don't
fair.
know. But I do want to run, so
Well, it does help that the settings are a little bit shorter. We were
yeah,
talking about that.
that's true.
It's one of the nice things. It's like, you know, part of the reason that they're like quote unquote like beginner settings is not just because it's like, you know, it's not like easier per se. It just tends to be a bit shorter, which is just nice
Yeah,
when you're starting out. Like I don't know how Uter gets so many people running it because
yeah, that's
like yes, a good runner will finish one of these seeds in about 3 hours, and I'm like a good runner, 3 hours. What?
I'm already
I'm gonna
sitting
have
behind
to
the
schedule my
computer for
whole
8
weekend
hours.
for this as a new runner. Like I'll get back to you next month when I finish this seed. Jeez.
I think Majora's Mask has like blitz settings, right, which are also pretty fast.
Does it?
Yeah, so this is kind of an equivalent, I think.
Gotcha. Well, if anyone out there is watching this and is thinking, hey, this Wind Waker game looks pretty alright, these people seem pretty cool, I want to participate. This is but the first qualifier. There will be 2 other live qualifiers like this that'll hopefully get restreamed and everyone will be racing together, all the same seed and everything, which will be really cool. Because one of the benefits of that is you can, you know, afterwards you could be like, oh, what did Lanamphy do for this section? Or like, how did, you know, compare, you know, your run to somebody else? But we do also, if you can't make time for those, you know, depending on it just doesn't fit your schedule or whatever, we are allowing like asynchronous qualifiers where one of the tourney organizers will provide you with a seed to run on your own and then just provide a recording for it. So if you can't find time but you still want to participate, if you can't find time for the specific qualifiers, we can accommodate. So please join. Try to make it interesting and fun as possible. But otherwise, it'll be another qualifier next Saturday, on the 13th, and then the week after that, on the Friday, the 19th. All the information is on the Wind Waker Rando Racing Discord, which I don't remember if we have is there a command for that? Hey,
Yeah,
look at
sure.
that.
There we go.
Thank you, Golden Dome.
Thank you. Anyways, that's my sales pitch.
And everyone
I'm
will
in.
qualify. So.
What can I say? I'm sponsored by Big Rand. GG's. to
OTR is
Quasi.
Big Rando. We're like small.
Crazy.
GG's to Quasi.
Yeah, I think
Get him in
they're
here.
gonna- Assuming he wants to get in here,
He will.
probably. Look at that pink Ganondorf. He got that flow. I think so often he ends up being green, so I guess it's always nice to see.
I always think he's yellow.
Yeah, maybe.
Yellow hair.
I don't randomize the enemy colors too often anymore. I used to all the
be,
time.
like skewed to being pink. Everything was pink, like when the randomized colors first dropped. I think they fixed it. Either they fixed it or my bias just changed. I don't know.
Yeah, once it stopped affecting, like once it became unlinked from the seed generation, I'm like, I'm going back to normal colors. Mainly because of Jalhala. I don't like the random Poe colors. Just tends to look like gross.
Oh.
He just spews out a bunch of Poes that are like just
But it's also
dark, murky greens and browns, and I'm like, what is this, Call of Duty? Come on.
the time it takes for your seed to generate also is like maybe 3 times as long. So if you just want
Pretty
to generate
fast,
it,
regardless.
Oh, really?
yeah, it's.
I guess
it
I
is
didn't realize it changed it that much. Ah, yes, that's obviously the reason why.
Of course.
I just remember I started doing it at the beginning because I thought it was funny, and then it was the spoiler season, and we had to, and then it became an option to not, and I stopped doing it, and I never looked back.
I always think it's funny though. The random color choo-choos, and I can't identify which choo-choos are the ones that
Yeah,
like,
that's
look out.
fair.
That's fun.
See, but then when you're still getting used to the game, though, it's like, wait, crap, I don't know yet. I haven't learned what choo-choo spawns here.
I've never learned. I'm still getting confused.
That's fair. You kill one that looks green and it
But
drops
it's
red.
worth it to have pink choo-choos or like yellow choo-choos that don't like that are not electric or something.
If only it
It's
didn't
getting-
randomize the water in the PG fight.
Yeah, I don't like the yellow liquid on the floor. Can we please not randomize it?
You're like, wait a second.
Kind of suspicious.
Yeah, or it's like the sand. Weirdly, the sand in Mulgara gets randomized too. All right, that I think is probably going to end up doing us. I don't know if any of our runners here have further comments about either Miniblins or this race or how you're feeling, how your Sunday's going.
It's going pretty well.
Decent.
Yeah, I thought the race was good. I'm excited for the tournament again.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be cool. So, but yeah. So again, if you want to join us, if you're out there and you're thinking about it, just at least give it a try. You know, just try out just the settings. You know,
You
try it
only
on,
have
see
to
if it
finish
fits, see if
two-
it's fun.
You only have to finish 2 races, right? You don't even have to you can take 8 hours if you want. You
Yep.
just have to finish 2 seeds and then you are qualified.
Sure.
So
Very, very true. No, so it's the whole idea is to try to make it very low stakes. You know, do it to have fun with it. That's the whole point. But
I never
otherwise,
like a randomizer to have fun though.
Get out of here, Lanampy.
see, that's how we know you're one of the old heads. See, you're a slave to the game, just like me.
I'm just here for the people, man. I hate this game.
Yeah. And on that note, pass it back over to Golden Devil to take us out, I think.
Yeah, what we got going on CSR?
Yeah, let me take a look. But before I do, want to thank our wonderful trackers, Whooper, Erica, Tomaltalk, and Lyric. Obviously, our two commentators, Alex and Claire. We are gonna have, let's see, tonight there is potentially an OTR multi-world race in a little under an hour, and another Skyward Sword race, plus Zelda 2, OTR, MMR, Skyward Sword all throughout the week. But for now, we're going to go right over to Super Malmo World, where they're showing a Link to the Past race. So thanks everyone for watching, and hope you have a good rest of your Sunday.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.